Hey everybody, Kat the Tech Ninja back for another Tech Tip Tuesday. And today we're talking about Zoom again. Zoom, as far as making sure that you're looking good and presenting well on Zoom, because it really is the wave of the future. We don't see it going away anytime soon. And it really does help to know that you're looking and presenting your best. Now, the first thing is to make sure that you are lit, that you are seen. Now, I have a ring light above me, and I want to show you what it looks like without it. It goes really dark. Even though I have the light from my screen, I have some lights on in my background, but you don't see me quite as well. Let me turn that back on, as you do when I have the light on. It gives me more color. You can actually see me clearly. I'm separated from my background. It's good. The next thing that I want to make sure that you know is don't have bright lights, windows, or anything in back of you like that that are really bright, because there's a couple of reasons why. One is it puts you oftentimes in shadow, even if you have a light in front of you. If it's competing with a bright backlight, it's going to be annoying for the people who are watching. I will also say that if you have really bright light or like ceiling fans that are going on, these can actually induce migraines in your viewers. It's annoying, it's frustrating, and I personally am one of these motion light sensitive people. And if I can't move people around in my Zoom so that I have to see them, it can create a migraine. Another thing is that if you are on a mobile device like your phone, make sure that your camera is off if you are walking around. Because I'll tell you, there are a few things more irritating and kind of ew is if someone has a laptop or a phone and they're carrying it and it's in front of them and you're looking up their nose while they're walking around. Not to mention, a lot of times, if you're carrying it, your image looks like, whoa, oh, yeah, whoa. And you're just like, stop, just turn off the video. Please, I'm begging you, if you are moving around, turn off your video. Everyone will thank you for it. And hopefully you're not walking around and doing things like that if you're presenting. That's if you're attending. Please make sure to turn off your video if you're going to be moving around and moving the location of the laptop or the mobile device. Turn off your video. Do everyone a favor. We don't need to watch you moving around. Another thing is don't eat on camera. It's rude. Mom always told you it's rude to eat with your mouth full. It's rude to eat on camera. It's annoying. It's distracting because your eye and your attention follow movement. I remember sitting in an event a while back. This is going back about a year or two. And there was a gentleman who was knitting while he was listening. And he had his camera on, and I appreciated that he wanted to engage. But the truth is, he wasn't engaging. He was knitting. He was pulling out the thread. He's holding up his thing to see how it's coming along. He's knitting, thread, check. And every time the guy did that, my attention was going away from the presenter and the speaker. So please be conscious and conscientious of what you're doing and how it might affect the person and the attention of other people in the Zoom room. Okay. So another thing is background. You want to have a nice, calm background. Don't have a lot of stuff piled up, a lot of pictures going on, a lot of busy stuff happening. This is why I have my background blurred. I am in my office and it is a little bit crazy in my office. So I'm going to choose my virtual background and say none. And you can see it's kind of a crazy, a little bit messy. I need to do a little cleaning and organizing. You can see my pop collection back there. You can see my chakra thing on the door. It's just not there's too much to look at. It's a busy environment. So you always want, so I'm going to blur it again. Whereas with it's blurred, it's not taking your attention. It's awesome. Okay. So if you don't have a calm background, blur the background. Yes, you can do virtual backgrounds, There's a whole bunch of them that you can choose from on Zoom or whatever. Like, that's nice. I personally wouldn't do something like this because I look like a cardboard cutout. I've got these weird little things like around my hands, and to me, it just looks weird. And I would prefer to just blur it, because this way I don't have these weird things going on as much. I look like a normal person, and it's good. Another thing is make sure that your camera is high enough. I know a lot of people who work on laptops and they're looking down at the laptop and the camera's looking up their nose. Don't want that, not professional. When you're presenting, center yourself in the screen, have about a fist distance. I could actually be a little bit closer. And if I move that and I move in a little closer, there we go. So about a fist distance between your head and the top of the screen. But I feel that this is still a good distance because you can see me, you can hear me well. I'm not right up against it. I've got some space around me and it's comfortable. So and have a good microphone. Make sure that people can hear you. This is actually a podcasting microphone, a USB Memphis. There are a bunch of them out there on a lot of devices. Your headset that comes with your mobile is usually okay for a lot of things, but you want to make sure that people can hear you clearly. And when you're presenting on Zoom, make sure you have a good internet connection. If you can, hardwire it. And we're going to get into that in another video. But just make sure that you do have a good solid connection, because there's nothing worse than, and then, people are losing what you're saying. They're losing the train of it when you start freezing. And it usually stops you in the most unflattering pose ever. So those are just a few tips and tricks. Have a calm background. If you don't have a calm background, blur it. Don't have bright lights and windows and ceiling fans going in your background, because that can actually induce migraines in people. Plus, it makes you hard to see. Make sure you have a good front light. I think it's Kmart actually has ring lights for like $18. They're really cheap. Have something like that going, and make sure that you just center yourself in the screen. If you're attending an event, make sure that you're not walking around with your video on, because it's just annoying. And don't eat on camera. Simple, easy to follow. So that's it for this week. Have a great day from Kat, the Tech Ninja, and I'll see you next time.